Hey there, Libra community. You know who it is. It's Soul Tigress with a special story for this wonderful frequency. Thank you, first off and foremost, for your patience, your time, and your energy as I navigate the story between the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and everything in between. Now, keep in mind that this is a place where we call in the angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy to come on in and be the guides and protectors for all the positive messages that are gonna come out. Now, with that being said, this is not love tarot here. This channel is geared around self-empowerment. And what that means is building the stepping stones to getting more aligned with our soul being, which helps align us with the higher source of energy. So, Libra, let's get started with the vibe. Oh my goodness. I feel like we're a little bit in left field. We're a little bit in right field. Split between the two, and we just don't know what to do. We don't know where to go. We're trying to cover so much and do so much, but we feel like there's such little time. I know that the Libra frequency always feels like they're on a time limit. Just wanting things to be easy. Worn out from the journey. Could this be drama that's around you? Do I go or do I stay? Feeling like everything has a price. That nothing will ever work out in the end. Old beliefs are haunting you, Libra, which is causing your irritability, your scales to be tipped even in one direction. And that one direction is not so much in the light. We're in the shadow side right now. There is an older feminine energy around you. And with that being said, this feminine energy is trying to send you little signs, little hints. Excuse me. Thank you. So back to the vibe. This is an older feminine energy. This is more of an could be a grandmother, a great grandmother, even a great grandmother. I would almost go into great grandmother or great grandmother just because of what I'm getting. The images for the clothes. This person likes a lot of deeper red color, or like a burgundy color. Specifically, I get this like shirt or like a dress that would have like maybe like burgundy flowers on it, and it would be almost like a certain kind of red. It wasn't a pink, but it wasn't a dark red because the burgundy flowers is what stood out on this dress. And then if you remember way back in the day, you would have those floral patterns. And what I see is like the little dots in between the floral patterns. That's why I say this could be like a great grandmother for the Libra in this story. But this energy is around you, and you may even like randomly catch the scent of their perfume. And that's how I knew that they were here, is because I could smell their perfume. And then I started seeing the images of the clothes. It's not curtains. It's a specific dress or it's a shirt that this person is showing me. And they just want to let you know that they are there. Whenever you smell that perfume, that sweet smell, that's them around you, just letting you know that you're not by yourself. So with that being said, is they want you to use your heart chakra. Use your heart chakra to feel their presence. When you feel yourself like wanting to close yourself off, they want you to open up at that time to feeling for them. This person, they also, to solidify who they were a person that used to make you smile a lot as a kid. They want you to do or start something, to get in touch with something you used to do for them, like perform, read. It could have been in like a church choir, so singing, something that you would have to dress for. And they just, what I get is that this is something that you were really, really passionate about. And it's really specific because you have to dress up for it. And it's almost like you have to perform it in front of others in a sense. And they want you to do this or to get back to this because you need to start replenishing your energy. So when I was dialing into the Libra frequency, right away I felt just tired. I felt worn out. But it was like restlessness. Like even if I wanted to lay down, even if I wanted to take a nap, if I had the time to even go to bed early, I would still lay there wide awake the whole time, not able to sleep. So just keep in mind, you know, we need things that replenish our energy, going back and forth from our responsibilities to other responsibilities, always just back and forth between these responsibilities that drain us. It never leaves time for us to replenish ourselves. And like I was telling somebody the other day, having hobbies, having something to do between work and between the home life can help ease the stress of work or ease the stress of home, because there's still something to look forward to in your day. So let's go ahead and get started with the Wisdom Chakra Oracle card. So ancestors and spirit guides, what is it that you would like to bring out for the introduction? Now this did come up. We have grief here. This is the heart chakra, confused about things that we may have lost, things that are no longer with us, confused on how to move forward, how to grow, how to expand. After that, how to have that. It could be expression again. It could be a direct expression in the creativity. Maybe this something that you used to do for them was something that was you and them. And now that they're gone, it's just you've shied away from it because it reminds you of them so much. That could be something too. We do that. When we lose people, places or things that are really, really close to our hearts, things that remind us of them, of it, or of that, we will start to shy away from, just so we don't have to feel the grief. What else needs to come out? We're not feeling in touch with the faith. We're not feeling in touch with the way things have been working out. The way they have worked out. The way they continue to work out. And why? Why it has to be a part of our path in life. That's a lot of throat chakra here. We got 2 throat chakras. This one is a little bit of in between the throat and the third eye, and then we have the heart chakra. So like from here to here to your third eye, you're very congested, Libra. Very, very congested. And let me tell you, I'm having the hardest time right now because there's a tickle in my throat, so excuse me. All right, thank you. So definitely confused on why everything has worked out the way it has worked out. I feel like with this self-worth coming out like this in confused position, whatever it was that you grieve over, Whatever it was that you lost, it definitely was something that made you feel better. It could be that it is this person here who's coming in. They know that when they had to depart, or when they did depart, that it did affect you. It affected you a lot because they were a big support system. Maybe they were somebody who really believed in you a lot when you were younger. Somebody who was always there to help build you up. Now, something we're not seeing here is prayer. Oh my goodness, I'm getting emotional from this. This is very, very emotionally charged. Holy moly. I feel like with this prayer here, I feel like that's Libra feeling like communication has been closed off from whoever, whatever this is. I feel like because that came as face down, that communication, because they can't communicate with this energy no more. It's just in the ways that they used to. They don't believe that they still have that. I actually was watching a psychic medium. Her name was Salone. Very famous, been around for many, many years. And one thing that she had mentioned is when we have loved ones who pass, their energy can still be around. We just have to learn how to communicate with them. We have to communicate with them differently than the way you communicate with somebody who's in the 3D with you. And I can believe that. I mean, I have my own hard time communicating with one of my people, but I do notice that they are there. And I think here they're telling you to pray, and they are right there with you. They will hear every single word that you're saying. If you feel too crazy just to have a conversation with them, then put it in prayer. That's what I get, and I see a big smiley face right now with that. That's really a good way to communicate with them. Wow. I don't know. It could be a masculine, but I'm feeling it's more of a feminine here. Maybe it was a masculine who was very comfortable in the feminine energy. That would have been like a really, really positive masculine right there. And that would be like the ideal gentleman, I'm not gonna lie, who would treat the feminates around him really good, because he again had such really good balanced feminine energy too within them. But just the way of the smell, the scent of the perfume I got, I really do think that this is a feminine energy here. All right, so spirit guides, divine and universal energy. What needs to come out for the present for the Libra community? Oh man, some things we're not seeing. We have a Knight of Cups here. And then this Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups has been kind of dancing about as I was doing your cleanse, and I did see this Ace of Wands too. So, and the Page of Swords. So all this is kind of still coming out. I feel like you had a lot of emotional ties with this person. This person, place, or thing, they just never shied you away. That's what I get. They never shied you away. Whatever it was, they were really welcoming. They were soft. They were warm. They were somebody who let your curiosity just have its fun. This person also could have had a pet. Right here. He really absolutely adored that pet too. Now with the Knight of Cups here, I feel like there's a journey that the Libra needs to take here. And this is an emotional journey. This is an emotional quest. A lot of people, if they haven't lost somebody really close to them that they love dearly, a lot of people don't understand. You don't ever get over that person. But what happens is you start to teach yourself how to live without them. In a sense, you've taught yourself to live without this person, but again, you were never the same. And that is something that happens a lot. With a lot of people, we change. We really do change when we lose certain people in our life. Yeah. You felt like a lot was lost. I don't know if it was like a free fall of events. You have 9 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, all coming out in reverse. There was a lot of loss. This person could have stood up for you too a lot. Maybe when it came up to other people. Could have been other arrogant people who had a harsher view on life. And because it was a harsher view, it would stress you out. It would stress you out a lot. You could have been suffering from insomnia at one time. It could have been the stress of a parent in particular that was causing this insomnia. Whatever happened when you lost this person, you lost a stability. And you lost a balance here. You lost a counterbalance to this one. This one, yes, I have this one flipped and upright, but this one has a very strong one-way view. And I think this one, when whoever was lost, this one did its own kind of shutdown too. So not only did you lose one person, you kind of lost another person. Oh, wow. It really left you out on your own. This other one, I don't think they knew what to do. I don't think they knew how to handle this. We have this 5 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles coming out. I don't even think they knew how to react to it, how to even move forward themselves from it. Even though you needed them to, they did not know how to do it. They didn't know how to get up. Even though the time was still going on in the real world, for them, time was not going on. I wonder if you're an empath too, Libra. I wonder if you're a very powerful empath. And I think you ended up shouldering the emotional weight of this for both of you. That's what I'm getting. Even though you were a younger person at that time, you didn't know what to do. You didn't know because you were so young. I still feel like emotionally, because you could feel so much around you, you ended up shouldering the weight for both of you on your shoulders when this person was lost. And I have this Page of Cups here. It was a big deal. It was a very big emotional thing. What I hear is an emotional catastrophe at that time when it happened. And it was just something that, it's like the TV commercials or the scene where they show like a person standing, but it's like many pictures of them, and it's all grouped up into one little reel. But what it shows in the background is how each day the background's changing, the daylight to night, different people are back there. But what it's showing is it's showing how the days or the years are progressing. And I kind of felt like life started to pass you by like that. And it was just because, I don't want to throw that word out there, but I feel like you got depressed too from this. Your emotional cup was just overfulfilled with this loss. And I have this King of Wands here. On this Two of Wands. Yeah. Whoever this other person was that couldn't process what happened either, it changed them. It changed both of you. But it changed them to where they became more of a tyrant. In some sense, they became uncontrollable with some things. It definitely, for some time, it was very dark. It was very cold in the household. It wasn't warm. It didn't feel like, even though there could have been, say, parents present, it didn't feel like they were present. That's a lot. That is a lot that you're holding on to, Libra. That is a lot. It was a lot to go through too, especially to feel the sadness, the grief times two, not just times one. You were not the only one grieving here. There was another person who was grieving, but this person couldn't even support themselves through it. They didn't know how to deal with it, and they couldn't help you. And this is something that still left its mark on you, because in a sense, this wasn't fair. That's what I feel is that word, fair. This wasn't fair. This wasn't right. There's no story that I grew up with that says that this happens in life. That's what I feel like Libra is kind of saying, because it's still, to this day, it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. How everything got to this point now, so many years later, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years later, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Whew. I can't make it make sense for you, Libra. I think that's what you want. You want something to make sense here. But it isn't. The more you try to force yourself to find it, the harder it is to find it. Think about it. When you lose something, the remote, your car keys, your cell phone, your pen, just to name a few simple objects, what you do is you're frantic, you're stressed, and you can't think. You're erratic, you're irrational, you're in a hurry, and you can't find it, which intensifies all those emotions. And then you start to get angry. Then you start to beat yourself up because you can't find it. And 9 times out of 10, it wasn't that far from you. Sometimes it was in your very hand. But it took you calming down. A lot of times it takes you calming down, it takes you forgetting to actually find it. Now, you can't forget about what happened here. That's not the point of that one. But what I'm saying is it takes you being in a different emotional state to find your answers, to find what you're looking for, to find why this was a part of your quest. This could be the quest of finding your self-worth, the quest to keeping your faith when you're being tested, the quest to start to believe in the power of prayer. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I'm being told I need to share this example. It was with some Native American teaching. I believe it was from the Dene people. I want to say it was Dene. But a tribal elder was speaking about how in life, if we want to learn how to forgive, then we have to have things happen to us to forgive. I'm not saying this is what this is here, but whatever is here had to happen to teach you something, to get you somewhere else on your journey, to get you past feeling upset at whoever failed you when you felt like you needed them the most. Because remember, this person, no matter who they are, they were human. And as much as we like to look at our elders, our parents, our grandparents, all of them as knowing the most and having their stuff together, that's not always the case. Sometimes they are just as lost as what we are. But the thing is, this could come down to you achieving a new kind of independence, Libra. Because if you're still holding on to the support, or what wasn't the support back then till now, then you're still hanging on to that this person has to care for you somehow. Or they're supposed to do something different, and that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But let's see. Let's take a look into the block. Angels of protection. Angels of protection. Help guide us and keep us safe as we navigate the block for the Libra community. What is it that needs to come out for this block? Ooh, Libra, it is what I'm thinking it is. It is a contract here between yourself. And this was learned at the expense of this other, whoever this other is. Now, Libra, I don't want you to feel like you're the only special one. This seems to be a lot of the theme this time around. These personal contracts that we have with ourselves. And it does take an individual, and sometimes it's the least individual that we expect, or the one that we hope it wouldn't be our toughest lesson. But it's something that pushes us or puts us between a hard place and a rock to where we feel this pressure. And we need to determine if we like feeling that type of pressure or if we want to get out of there. We have that free will. We have time to do it. But there's no getting around this. If you've definitely been living with this for a while, dealing with this for a while, that's because right here, you're supposed to do something different with yourself. Now, this could go into the new moon, full moon type of thing that I was picking up, excuse me. And that talks about the ending of an old cycle, preparing for a new. But it also talks about transcendence type of energy. And transcendence type of energy, which Pisces represents, is energy that is not connected to through the mind, but is through the spiritual being. You have been given such a challenge so that you would be able to have a stronger connection to that divine energy and with yourself. The whole thing is, Libra, you get so stubborn with trying to go in one way sometimes. If your scales are tipped that way and that's the way you're going, that's the way you're going to dedicate yourself to. But you have an option to tip your scales a little differently. It's not easy. It's not easy. But the full moon in Virgo talks about self-examination and improvement, taking care of ourselves. Pisces, I believe. Virgo, communication, how we think. This is how we're thinking, what we're believing in and stuff like that. Again, if you're only tipped in the one way, that shadow side, you're only going to see the dark side of things. And to have anything fully balanced, we got to be balanced in both the dark and the light. That means not having a perfect life, but understanding, to be open, to be receptive, but also willing to learn from failures. Nobody's perfect. Nobody will ever be perfect. This is why it's like a game. It's a journey. You learn how to evolve. You learn how to get better, but you have to understand we don't always stay in one season, just like we don't always stay in the same terrain on this journey. Through the journey, we learn to adapt. We learn to be flexible. We also learn how to be stubborn, what to believe in, how to believe again. And this is what it was. Now, this could be the direct individual, or there was another individual that was lost here that affected. And this feminine energy that comes out is one who's really supportive of you, has been supportive of you when you lost that other. But again, this other was lost. There's a lot of loss here, I feel like. Let's go ahead and continue into this block. What else needs to come out? If you go check out that new moon, full moon interpretation, it really does dive a little bit more into the depths when it comes to the mythology and how the mythology, those stories play into this energy for this cycle of stories. What we have here is a 5 of Cups in reverse and a 3 of Swords. What I hear is it's easier not to talk about it in a sense. It's easier not to be truthful about anything. It's easier kind of just to deny it. It's easier just to go about things the way that they have been. Accepting the routine of it, the nightmare, maybe the overpowering of others on us. What else needs to come out? Magician. It's that Virgo energy, that Mercury energy. And we have the Page. The Magician usually has all the tools. With this Page here, it talks about a new way of going, a new offering to be made here. I don't feel like you have this offering. I'm a little confused on why this all comes out in upright. Let me get a clarity card for this Page. Can I get a clarity card for the Page? Okay, so what I did also get a clarification, the Magician and the Page are also going to represent this other in a sense. And this other is kind of like, what I hear is the shot caller of things. This person, to this day, whoever could still be calling the shots around. Have this Page of Cups. Direct and brutally honest, works in creative artistic field. This person can be moody and very emotional. Sympathizes with others' troubles, passionate about life, outgoing, charismatic, may lack social skills or education. This person enters your life without long-term effects. I feel like that is you showing that you're stuck in a sense. Or maybe this is the way this person treats you. No major changes and few events. Your heart is closed off to avoid the possibility of pain. Emotional barriers protect you from love. You are basically in denial. Inability to accept the reality of your problems keeps the situation from changing. Take action and compromise to resolve your issues. Good time for diet and exercise. This is the Ace of Pentacles. 2 of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. Good time for diet and exercise. Physical and self-improvement and beauty. Money and material possessions come easily. Success projects will grow and prosper. Trust in your own instincts and ideas. Others will help. Rely on your friends and family for support. And then we have this 7 of Swords come out in a confused position. You know, I'm going to take this back. No, I'm not going to take it back. So the Page of Pentacles is going to represent you, while the Magician is going to represent them. For some reason, you're still stuck. This person has you stuck. How do I put this? I was watching something and it was spiritual type of warfare kind of stuff. And they talk about when certain events happen to us, certain traumas, sometimes we can become stuck at that age of the trauma. And I feel like your emotional side is still stuck at that younger age of when everything happened here. This is why this is such a big deal to you still. This is why you still feel it so much, because we have 2 pages here. Again, 2 of Swords shows there's no major changes happening. Ace of Pentacles talks about it's a good time to start taking care of yourself. You might need to open up to different ways of taking care of yourself, different support systems to help take care of yourself. I want a clarity card for the Magician then. What is the clarity card for the Magician? Ooh. This person comes out confused. Ace of Cups. This person, what I hear is this person runs from the truth. This person could be very unemotional when it comes to talking about stuff. This person, I don't see. What I want to say is there's no kind of peace offering for the past, to try and smooth the past out, you think, with this person. That's what I get as well. But I also get that this person doesn't know how to emotionally express themselves either. That's what I get too. This person could have been very emotionless when you were younger. If you needed something to be heartfelt, something from them to be heartfelt, you were not going to get that from this person when you were younger. I feel like it's a lot of this past around this situation in particular that really, even to this day, could keep Libra up. It's a part of the things that make it hard for Libra to sleep. All right, let's go ahead and get a few more cards. Few more cards for the block. What else needs to come out for the block? Ooh. So we have the Page of Swords here. Something you're not seeing. 8 of Swords. Yeah. You've been entangled in this mess for quite some time. Whatever it was more taking than giving. Whoever this person was, you felt like they took a lot. Maybe they took a lot from this other individual. Maybe they took a lot from the environment. It could have been that they didn't bring anything into the environment that you were growing up in because they were using all the resources for themselves. You could be very upset deep down about that too. I get that you view this person as very selfish in a sense. especially when you are emotional. When you're emotional, I don't know what it is, but this person, you can't be around them, or you don't want them around you. That's a lot. That is a lot, Libra. Oof. That, you know, in Gemini, I talked about cleaning the wound. You know, our metaphoric wounds, because they become infected, they got debris in them. When we haven't cleaned these metaphoric wounds in so many years, I mean, they get infected, they get gunk in them, they get gross. Sometimes we think it's easier to keep ignoring it. But all I know is there's a lot of resentment here. There's a lot of resentment. There's a lot of misplaced anger. There's a lot of holding back. There's a lot. If this person is not emotionally evolved, then you can't heal with them. You cannot heal with them. That's not going to happen. And generally, you can't heal with anybody. You can only heal with yourself. You have to get it out, though. You have to get it out. You have to get it out. It could start with journaling. What I see is you could start off with just writing the immediate emotions that you feel. And it could be spending a good month, 2 months, 6 months, just journaling after journaling, just after journaling, when you're feeling frustrated, when you're feeling these emotions, when you're feeling these memories. And you don't need it to be constructive. We don't need correct grammar, spacing, paragraphing. Right now, you need to decompress yourself. You have a lot going on in your emotions. And maybe after this decompression period, if you want, then you can start going and organizing things and writing down in a more chronological order, I'm hearing to say. For some reason, I feel like intellectually that will help you kind of process your timeline of events from what happened, where you got stuck, even till now. That will help. But the biggest thing, Libra, is I would talk to somebody. I would go seek out a professional, a guide. Well, maybe not a guide. A counselor, a therapist, a member who works in the church, in the counseling area, something like that. A church mentor maybe, but this needs to be somebody who's not a part of your family. This needs to be somebody who doesn't know really much about your family. They only need to know what you tell them. And this is one of the most important things, because we're afraid that people are judging us all the time. And at least when you go talk to this professional, you know that they only know what you tell them. And you can open up as much as you want to at the times that are right for you. But I think just being able to let this out with somebody else who you can trust, who isn't going to judge you because they're your family and stuff. I think that is something that will be very, very beneficial. Just even journaling to start off with. You gotta let it out. Gotta let it out. If not, you're gonna stay built up. Alright, so divine and universal energy. Help guide us through this conclusion. What are the positive messages for the conclusion for the Libra community? What is it? I feel like with this card here, the divine and universal energies, they're expressing that you feel like things are too late, but nothing's too late. Nothing is too late right here. And this direct contract with this very energy, with this very past, is a part of being able, let's see if I can get this to focus. There we go. Is a thing that is going to help open the door to value for you. That passionate door of value, that door of abundance, that door of light, that door of wealth. Could be wealth, emotional wealth, spiritual involvement wealth, but the warmth of being able to be a little bit more at peace within yourself. It could be within your very heart. Let's keep going. Oh, here we are. Look at that. It's time. This contract's up. You have suffered enough. It's time to balance out. And we have the second chakra here. Archangel Ariel. And this second chakra represents joy, passion, healthy relationships, and creativity. But when it's out of balance, it's lack of creativity, emotional instability, and let's see, fear of changes and social dysfunction. Now let's talk about the Archangel Ariel. Let me find my light. Archangel Ariel, angel of nature. She oversees the protection and healing of animals, plants, as well as the care of the earth and elements. Goddess in the world. Angel of manifestation, abundance, and prosperity. I find that really, really neat that you get this door of value and then you get the angel who helps guide in prosperity, who helps guide in abundance here. And I feel like rebalancing yourself out definitely is going to open other doors for you. Maybe doors that you haven't had open yet. But it's going to take doing something different, Libra. Really feel when this ancestor's around you. Really open up to what's going on in that immediate moment. Something else, couple things we're not seeing here. Oh. Well, what you're not seeing is how you can be able to be that provider. Be that person who can care for others. Be that ultimate nurturing kind of energy that you wish that there would be. And what I have here is a man holding a heart. What I'm hearing with this one is maybe if you open up this door, you might start to believe. In second chances again. Could be in love again. It could be having a tender relationship with somebody. And when I say tender, it doesn't have to be intimate. It could be having a tender relationship with whoever this was. You know, something different, something that's passionate, something that's emotional. Whereas, remember, they're not really emotional here, but you can't make them. What you can do is you can learn to heal yourself and how to be there for yourself, how to trust in how you're feeling, how to process how you're feeling. And what that does for you when you start to validate yourself is you start to go in deeper on those self-care, self-love kind of things. And the deeper you go, the more you love yourself, the harder you love yourself. Things start to change for you. You stop looking for this love from others, and you actually, it's not that you pity others, but what it is you hold this love for yourself, that whatever these others do, it doesn't diminish your love, but it doesn't like create a dependence of having to have them validate you in order to feel this love. Again, it's because you're going to feel this naturally within yourself, because you're going to work on this for yourself. That's if you choose to want to process this. This is if you choose to want to go forward. That's if, big if, Libra, if you choose to honor this contract. Because this contract has been in the works. Has been in the works since you were very young. It's not fair. It's not. One of life's... a lot of life isn't fair. It really isn't. I'll share a little tidbit. I have a child who has a chronic condition, and it's actually a disability. And they have to take care of themselves. If they don't take care of themselves, it puts their health at risk. It could put their life at risk. And one thing I would tell them, I go, you have a lesson that every person in this world has. This contract here with ourselves. Everybody has it. I go, but for you, my child, you have arrived at this contract a whole lot sooner than others. And this soul child of mine, they didn't understand it. They wanted to be like everybody else. They wanted to have the freedom to treat themselves, to do whatever. And it's not the case. It's not the case for her. And it's not the case for them. And this person, this child of mine, it's just the most unfairest thing in the world. And it actually put a big gap between us, or a big divide between us on this. And that's something that's really hard for a lot of people, is rising up to our own personal contracts when it comes to caring for ourselves directly. It was unfair. This past, it was unfair. If you play to just the 3D's experiences, expectation kind of thing, it was unfair. But on a celestial and spiritual thing, it's something that was needed. It was something that was needed at that time so you could do something. Now you chose to do something opposite, and this is why it's so dark and so gloomy. But again, you still have time, Libra, to do something different. You have that time to honor yourself. You have the time to start taking care of yourself, to do that self-examination, to put an end to an old cycle, to start preparing for a new, and that a new could be starting that self-improvement, taking care of yourself, loving on yourself more, and being open to starting to pray, to communicate with this person, this place, this thing that you're missing. Start to communicate, start to pray with them, start to have faith again. Because again, this is a part of your quest into learning about yourself and learning how special you are, Libra. All right. I'm going to leave it here, or I'm going to keep rambling. Oh my gosh, Libra. So far, this frequency wins. Y'all have me the most emotional. I had to stop myself from crying for a few times now through this story. And even now as I'm getting ready to dial out, I want to cry. I feel it. I feel your pain here. And like I said, you can get past this. This isn't the end, I promise. So, don't forget to thank your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy for coming in and helping out with all the positive messages. And Libra, I hope you have a most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.